My name is Yvonne Dube, and I am a recent graduate, honors graduate from the University of Zimbabwe. And today I'll be presenting on my research that I did earlier this year on documenting the late Stone Age art of Zimbabwe, a prototype digital archival database system of Nswatugi rock art site in Matobo landscape. So Matobo is located in the southern part of Bulawayo in Zimbabwe, and it was declared a national monument in the 1930s, I think 1937. So Nswatugi's rock art is an irreplaceable part of Zimbabwe's cultural heritage. It offers a vital link to the Stone Age art, and documenting this site is very crucial for promoting research, education, tourism, and ensuring a long-term conservation management. So the rock art at Matobo, it is still very much visible, so which motivated me to create a database in case it deteriorates. So there are threats at the site, the natural and the human. So the cave is increasingly deteriorating due to weathering, erosion, pigment fading, and some biological growth that is happening there. Also unregulated tourism, vandalism, and graffiti. So my aims were to develop a prototype digital archival database of rock art at the site for preservation, research, and education, to survey and document using modern technological methods like high-resolution photograph, to create a functional prototype digital archival database, and to assess the impact of digital documentation on the site. My research questions. So what are the most effective methods for documenting and recording rock art sites, rock art at the Nswatugi Cave? What are the essential components of functionalities of a digital archival database system? And how does digital preservation and documentation influence the physical conservation of rock art? So I used a multi-step process in my methodology. Of course, desktop survey, reviewing the existing literature on digital archiving and also the site history, the field work, and on-site condition survey to document the current state and the threats at the site. Photographic documentation, that's capturing detailed images of rock art panels using high resolution cameras, and image processing, and all database development. So for the database development, I used PostgreSQL, which was my main database for storage. And I used Ruby on Rails as a programming language. So the system overview. The system is designed to catalog, store, and provide access to images and related data. It serves as a central hub for detailed information, including locations, coordinates, GIS coordinates, researcher details, panel descriptions, just to mention a few. So these are the features of my database. The system is user authentication. The system requires robust user authentication to access and manage sensitive data, ensuring that only authorized personnel can make changes. And also the security measures ensure that data integrity and preserves unauthorized tampering, meaning no one can actually edit the data that the user of this database would have entered into the database. So another feature of the database, so the advanced state of deterioration and the fading pigment made capturing clear images of some extremely difficult. the site condition made it difficult to record some of the panels. Also, the logistics. These are the challenges that I incurred. The remote location of the site, it is from where I study, it was far, far, far away. And the resources to access paid software licenses required the use of, so I used free softwares. For this database, I made a prototype. I wanted to test my ideas. In Zimbabwe, honestly, we do not have if I can say, an official database of rock art sites. So it is difficult for us students to access some of the pictures of the sites without going to the museum. And at the museum, actually, they only have those old photos. They don't have the ones digitalized. So I thought it would be a great idea to archive the pictures of some rock art sites. And it will be easier for us students as researchers. Sometimes it is very difficult to transport to very, very, very far rock art sites. So sometimes we only know of names of some of the rock art sites. We don't have pictures. And also sometimes some of these rock arts that we know, rock art sites, we don't have pictures. Like the one that was presented on by Takunda on Monday, we don't have pictures of what used to be the face of Makumbe Cave. Now it's just blank. So we have no idea how it looked like. And we can't even have, we only have something that was drawn, but we don't know how it really looked like. So it's a challenge for us as students. We are just told names. We don't know how it looked like. So another feature. So for this database that I designed, it will have a user-friendly. It is accessible. The front end allows the public and students and researchers to view the archived rock art without restriction. Meaning if the museum is to use this archival system, students, researchers would have the opportunity to view the pictures, the panels of a rock art site, and it will be helpful. So users can browse through different panels and read the detailed descriptions of the features of the cave or the rock art site. This feature promotes education and awareness while eliminating the need for physical interaction with a fragile site, effectively preserving by sharing. So after the research confirmed that Nswatugi Cave is at significant risk from both natural and human-induced factors. The developed digital archive system successfully meets the project objectives, acting as a crucial safeguard against data loss. By digitalizing records, the project provides a format that is immune to physical degradation. The system is user-friendly, secure, accessible, and successfully promoting remote access for researchers and educators. So the challenges: the advanced state of deterioration and fading pigment made capturing clear images of some art extremely difficult. So there are panels that are deteriorating due to natural degradation. So it was very difficult. So I only managed to capture the other part, and the other part remained. I do have the pictures, but you cannot see clearly. Logistical issues: the remote location of the site resulted in high travel cost and significant logistical challenges during fieldwork. The resources: the limited access to paid software licenses required the use of free alternatives, and projects required learning new technical skills quickly. So with this project, I only had about 8 months or less to have this project prepared. So that's why it's a prototype, and it was challenging because I had to learn new skills. So I used Postgre, I used Ruby on Rails. I had to learn that programming language within a few months, but it was successful though. Also, with this database, for me to actually upload it online, not for me literally, but for the people who would like to use it, they would have to pay a licensed software. For myself, right now I have it, it's working, it's functioning, but I use my own computer. So our computers have the local host. So I'm using a local host to access this prototype digital archive. So in conclusion, the prototype digital archive is a valuable and effective approach to documenting and safeguarding irreplaceable cultural heritage like rock art. Given the ongoing deterioration, there is an urgent need for sustainable digital documentation strategies. This project provides a scalable model that can be adapted for other cultural heritage sites, bridging the past and the future. So if we are to use this, we can use it for different kind of sites, not only the one that I did. We can do a regional archive of the site. You know, in Matobo, we have so many rock art sites in that park alone, the national park. So you could collectively record and digitalize the sites. Thank you. So my recommendations are continued monitoring. Regularly monitor the natural threats at Nswatugi, such as vegetation growth and water leakage. Expand the database to include all rock art sites within the Matobo Hills for comprehensive regional archive. Incorporate more descriptive data and interpretation layers to enhance educational value. Further development could make 3D models for the rock art sites for a fully immersive virtual experience. Because with this database that I'm using, you can actually upload videos, not only pictures. So it is possible to also upload 3D models of the site. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Yvonne. We'll now take some questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for that presentation. It's interesting to see how we have developed that database. Maybe my question will go more to National Monuments and Museums of Zimbabwe. Is such an idea from one of your own? I don't know how much interest you put in to take advantage of such innovation so that you are able to use it as an institution. Because yesterday, I think we had a chat over this. I was even telling her that, no, if Zimbabweans don't want to get you, we can poach you in Zambia and make use of you. So, so I'm just thinking, this is a good idea. But for me, I think you can even go a step further by being a heritage practitioner, expand further, rather than just looking at rock art. You can also use it for other cultural heritage sites so that it's broader than just rock art. Thank you so much.
For the national museums, I haven't talked to them, but one of their representatives is in here, maybe.
Yeah, I want to
all I can say is that it's a welcome development as an I met the development here in South Africa. I hope to engage more.
I just have a comment. Congratulations. Flippin' well done. What an inspiration. You show what can be done with a little bit a little bit of information, and lots of determination. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Yeah.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have a very interested question. How could this database that you design could integrate other database? Is it possible? I'm thinking about mine.
I think it can happen that we have to. Yeah.
Thank you, Manango. My question is, the innovation here is it the database or record recording digitization? My question also complements Leah's question to say, does it also incorporate other databases? Because in Matobo, we have people who are recording this record, digitizing it. So how do you work with that?
I think the innovation here is digitizing rock art. We don't have the rock art site, a platform where we can view rock art sites in Zimbabwe. We don't have that one. So I think the innovation here is to document and digitalize so that it makes us as students. I just graduated my honors. I would like to pursue. So sometimes it's very difficult to travel to far areas to access the sites and all due to some economic issues. So I think it would be very nice to have something like this so that you do your desktop researches first before you visit the site. So yeah. And with the integration, I think it can be discussed.
Okay, thank you so much for your lovely presentation. Just one simple question. You talked about like your recommendation was monitoring. Do you maybe have a plan of updating the system? Like if you have taken pictures, do you have a plan like after 10 years, then update the system, or what's the plan in that way?
Like I said, if this system is to be used by officials, it will be possible to update it, and you will put new pictures of the site now and you will compare with the site, you know, how.
Well done. No, congrats. Congrats. No, actually, I have a comment. No, I'm not. I'm taking the other cap on. No, well done. It's really great. Actually, what you provided. Just one comment, which is kind of already suggested by two previous colleagues. It's actually a call. It's not your responsibility, so it's a general call. It could be interesting, and I think more than interesting, needed that there's more integration or more communication between the different institutions in Zim, as we are talking about Zim, working on or doing rock art research, because basically you've been struggling with a remote fieldwork. That is true. You've been struggling, you mentioned about taking pictures and everything. And actually, we already have all these pictures recently done. And it would have been a pleasure and very easy to provide them to you to put directly into your database. So yeah, it's just a call, and I'm pretty sure that the NMMZ actually, they do have some digital archives as well on some specific rock art sites. So if they could be, if it would have made your life easier, actually. But well done again.
Thank you.
Just a very quick question, but with regards to storage, and photo resolution? Is there like a capacity or a limit on uploading onto the system? So like, would you have like a cap at like 20 images and then the resolution's low? Just out of curiosity.
After doing my research, I don't think there are any restrictions now yet. So not anything yet.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Mine, even though it's more of a management concern or management proposal, I hope you will also try to answer it as the question relates. Maybe it's for the National Museum and Monuments in Zim and the Botswana National Museum collaborating on rock art projects, because the presentation that we had from Guda Mugabe on those around its villages around the borderline, and that borderline is 5-10 kilometers from the Zim border. So hopefully if you can arrange to have a collaboration on rock art to see the typologies that we have on this side of the border and this one on the side of the border. Probably this could be a paper for the next conference, I guess. So it's not a question, or it's just a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you.
That will be the very last question or comment.
Thank you. The comments made me think to also, it's a comment or a recommendation, I don't know. A recommendation, I don't know. To also consider to design a framework in which in the database we have a standard framework in which data is stored in the database, so that it's not just haphazard people throwing in pictures and whatnot. There should be a standard framework for it. Thank you.
Nothing to comment more on.
It's a suggestion, so I'll put that into consideration.
Okay. Okay. No more questions or comments? Allez, Kelvin. No, stop. There's a last one. There's a last. Well, you can give applause to Kelvin. Actually, yes, we can.
I just wanted to give a comment that it's maybe following up on what Kami just said. The museum is the repository, national repository for all the research, the collections for archaeology in Zim. So it's unfortunate that sometimes universities collect data and they don't bring it. Some researchers, international, they come, we give them permits, and one of the requirements or the conditions for the permits is that at the end of the research, the research results are also deposited with the museum. But unfortunately, some don't. But otherwise, the system or the framework is there. It's just that sometimes it's not followed. That was my comment. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Yvonne.
Thank you, everyone. I would love to thank the organizers for giving me such an opportunity to present before all these brilliant minds. It's such an honor. I'm just an undergrad and I've seen PhDs, doctors, professors, and it's such an honor. Thank you.
She's lovely. No, she's absolutely lovely. Thanks very much. That's the end of this session. Apparently, Melanie had a message to give, but do you know, Hugo, do you have it? Do you know what's the message to be delivered to I don't know. Okay, so I'm leaving you the mic because I don't know actually what your...
Yes, just a very brief comment. Tomorrow's last day, so if you want to have a look at the exhibition, right now is a good idea. So the exhibition that's just on the side. If you need someone who can also contextualize the exhibition, you can ask me, you can ask Leila, Melanie if she's around. Well, it's just a comment about it. Thank you.